What in the actual hell is going on, Americans? Jericho Green here with you once again, and I have been awoken from the slumber of my day off for this bullshit. So this rotten bitch named Erica Thomas, some representative from Georgia, decided to take a book from the Juicy Smollett Hate Crime Almanac. Did you learn nothing from Juicy and the Brothers Nigerian? So this clown-ass clown is at some grocery store called Publix in her area of Georgia. And according to her in her tearful video that she put on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, she said that this white man was in line behind her some shit, and he told her, go back to where you came from. Now, I watched this bullshit ass video on the Wall Street Journal, their website, and it said, of course, at the end, because they gotta take a jab. They can't let their TDS go unused. So, of course, they say, this comes a week after President Trump told members of Congress to go back to the countries they came from. So somehow, Trump's words triggered, I must say racist shit to next black person I come to. Trump triggered me. What the fuck? So what they're saying is, because Trump did that, all these people around the country with racism bubbling under the surface finally feel like, okay, he said I can do it. He said something like that. Let me say something like that too. Get the fuck out of here. Trump does not have mind control. Trump is not a fucking king. Trump is not a fucking god. He's not going to turn people into something they're not. He's not giving people the balls to say something they wouldn't say before he was president. That's a fucking lie. So this dumb fuck said that this white man told her to go back where she came from. Whatever the fuck that means. So she gets her phone and he told me to go back to where I came from, and my daughter was there. She said, Mommy, why did he say that? I'm 9 months pregnant. And look, if you're a child, you're an old person, you're a woman, or you're a pregnant woman, you are allowed certain freedoms. You are given a little more rope, so to speak. We treat women, elderly, and children special. If I'm somewhere and there's a pregnant woman and I have a seat and she doesn't, I'm going to get up and give her my seat. If it's hot, I see her going like this or some shit, I'll offer her some water. Same with an old person. Same with a child. They are treated different. They hold a special place in our society. And they should. But being pregnant or any of the other aforementioned groups does not mean you can fucking lie. Does not mean you can try to destroy somebody's life. Because that's what they do when shit like this happens. When these hoaxes happen, when these lies happen, they target someone. Either their personal life and or their business. So she picked a nerdy little white guy. Some guy that she's like 2 feet taller than, by the way. She picked some nerdy little white guy. And what's funny is, the white dude was right there with her when she was feeding this bullshit to the news cameras. Apparently they set up some kind of meeting. She was there, the news cameras and the channels were there, and then this white guy was there. And she's telling her, now, you can tell the difference in the story because in the video, she was very matter of fact. She remembered everything that he said, and she was crushed. But when she's standing next to this man, I think he might have said something along those lines. I don't know if he said exactly that, but I feel the shit was all, I don't remember, and hum-ha and all this shit, and she didn't know what was going on. Now, if you were telling the truth, the fact that he was standing next to you would have made you even more steadfast in your version of the stories because he's right there. But it wasn't. Your story changed. Turns out, you fucked up, Erica. You fucked up. You thought you had your little racist Southern man. Wrong. He's one of you. He said, you can look at my Facebook. I'm anti-Trump. I'm anti-Republican. I'm anti-racism. I'm anti-bigotry. I'm on your team, asshole. You fucked up, Erica. You picked the wrong one. You thought this was going to be a cakewalk. You thought, I tell them my version of the story, this dude's automatically going to tuck his tail, get behind that podium, and tell how sorry he is. How he never should have said that. There's not a racist bone in his body. He's going to do better and all this bullshit. You thought that was going to happen. You thought you were going to be on the next morning TV show circuit, right? You thought it was going to be The View, Good Morning America, little CNN, a little MSNBC. This dropped into your lap. This jewel dropped into your lap. You thought this was happening. You're going to rocket straight to the top. Next thing you know, next Georgia gubernatorial race would feature Erica Thomas, right? Wrong. You fucked up. You picked the wrong dude. And he's not even white. You stupid motherfucker. You couldn't even pick a white person. He was up there like, hey, I'm Cuban, B. I'm Cuban. He said, I was raised by a grandma who didn't speak a lick of English. You thought you had him. You thought you got one. Ah, you fucking dickhead. But instead, you picked one of your people. Isn't this funny how they all end up eating themselves? Isn't it funny when the cannibalism happens? You got one of your own people, stupid. And she kept saying, I'm 9 months pregnant. I'm 9 months pregnant. So what? There's some woman right now who's 9 months pregnant, squatting in a fucking rice field. Probably gonna have the baby right there. So what that you're 9 months pregnant? Does that mean you can't count? So what happened was, she had a bunch of, it was a 10 items or less line. She had a whole bunch more than 10. So he goes up to the manager and says, what the fuck? They're like, well, it's company policy that we can't say. If you can't say nothing when people are breaking the rules, why the fuck do you have the rules? Anyway, he goes up to management. There ain't shit they can do. He goes to leave and he's like, no, fuck that. He goes back and he points up and he's like, hey, this is 10 items or less. So she cops a motherfucking attitude. And he goes, you know what? You lazy bitch. And he leaves. That's what happened. She copped a fucking attitude because she got caught. She thought nobody would call her. She thought she could pull her I'm pregnant card and that would be all good. And really, looking at her, she doesn't look pregnant. She just looks like a big fat motherfucker. She does not look pregnant. There's no bump there. But she was like, I told you I was 9 months pregnant. So fucking what? That doesn't mean you can break the rules and cut in line because you're pregnant. And so he was like, maybe I shouldn't have called you a bitch, but that's the worst thing I said. I never told you to go back to where you came from. She's like, you're gonna get your 5 minutes of fame, and she's clapping her hands and shit like some ghetto ass fucking hood rat. She couldn't stick to the topic. She had to insult him. That's how you know you got somebody. That's how you know these intellectual waters are too deep. They get away from the facts and they start getting personal and start insulting you. You're just making yourself look stupid. So you know what? This guy's you'll probably see him on Fox News real soon because CNN, MSNBC, and any other of those fucking mainstream mediocre companies will not touch this. No, he's not white. Yes, he's a Cuban, but he's a straight male. And in the land of victimhood, black beats straight male every time. It's like a fucking card game. What you got in your hand? I got Cuban. Cool. What you got in yours? Black woman. I fold. Game over. Push all your chips to the middle. You lose. She's draped in more victimhood than him, so they won't touch it. Even though it's obvious to anybody with functioning eyeballs that she's lying. Like my dad would say, she's full of more shit than a Christmas turkey. And she fucking knows it. And then she tells him, go ahead and say what you're going to say. You're going to jail. Going to jail? You can go to jail now because a black person disagrees with you? That's a jailable offense? And there's all kinds of inconsistencies in her story. In the video, she's like, I had 15 items, but I'm pregnant. And then when she's standing there next to the dude, she says, I had 11 items and I have the receipt to prove it. I doubt that. I fucking doubt that. Is it 15? Is it 11? Which one is it? Oh, I had to have so many items because I'm pregnant and I can't stand too long. You didn't have a problem standing right there with the news cameras. You didn't have a problem standing there for 15 minutes with your hands on your hips. I didn't see that shit. You were standing just fine. You're going to jail? Come on now. This is so fucking stupid. You're only hurting yourself. All you motherfuckers crying racial wolf, basically. When you're crying racial wolf, pretty soon, nobody's gonna give a fuck. And there's gonna be some real shit going down, and nobody's gonna give a fuck because of you, Erica Thomas. Because of you, Juicy. Because of the fucking Asian girl saying that all this racist shit happened to her on a college campus. And it didn't. It's because of you. You're fucking yourself. I couldn't believe this shit. When I first heard about it, I was like, man, this bullshit again. And then I heard that she's a representative, so you should be held to a higher standard. You should have known better. When that dude was pointing up at the sign saying this is 10 items or less, you should have said, oh, my bad. That was a part where you were supposed to tuck your fucking tail like you thought he would. You should have tucked your tail and said, my bad. We've all been there. We've all been in a rush. It's 5 o'clock in the fucking grocery store. Everybody and their mama's there, and you got some shit in your basket. And you got to count. I do it all the time. If I have too many for the 15 items or less express lane, I don't go. I don't want to be that asshole. It's called integrity. You know you're not supposed to be in that line, so don't go in that line. And according to that dude, there were other lines that were empty. Why didn't you go to them? Since you had 11 or 15 items or whatever the fuck it was. You punk motherfucker. And she'll probably still get to make those talk show rounds. Oh, you poor thing, and you're pregnant. And fucking he called me a son of a bitch. I didn't call you a son of a bitch. I said you're a lazy bitch, and you are. I added the you are part, not him. You are. You fucking dick. Have a little integrity. Stand your punk ass in line and go home. But she couldn't do that. The opportunity was too sweet. The fruit was hanging too low. She's like, I capitalize on this shit. The sky's the limit. I could write my own ticket. I could be the damn president. Wrong. Wrong. You picked on the wrong dude. This dude is prepared. He is professional. And he ain't taking your shit. And I hope he fucking sues you for slander, defamation of character. And in the other terms, his legal team with 3 names on the side of the building is going to come up with against your stupid ass. I hope you get sued, and I hope you get voted out. But Jericho, she's pregnant. I don't give a shit. There are women trekking across the damn country on covered wagons, pregnant. The women working shifts right now, 8+ hours, feet hurting, ankles swollen, pregnant, and you ain't special. That doesn't give you the right to cut people and lie and be full of shit and try to ruin someone's life. You asshole. Man, let me get the hell up out of here and get back to my day off with my beautiful wife and kids. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get that green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.